Okay, we're in Duart Castle, which I'm advised is Black Point, and I'm going to speak to Ray in just a minute, who's invited me here fabulously. The Black Point being right at the point of the Sound of Mull. That up there is the Great Glen and the fault line that cuts Scotland in half, bringing us right down to the point of the Sound of Mull, which round that way to the right is Iona, which I covered the other day. Over there is the Morven Peninsula, which we covered the other day, and now we're in the south of Mull and talking to Ray. Ray, thank you.
Yeah, well.
And we've got more than just the history of the place in common, but some of the history. It's MacLean country. Let's talk about that first.
It is.
The deep history of the MacLeans is astounding. I'm finding it all out today. If at all interested in MacLeans and their dominance over this since the Lord of the Isles, this is a place to come, first of all. Yeah, I would have thought.
Absolutely. It came to the MacLeans in the 1360s.
Yeah.
And they took control of nearly all of Mull.
Yeah.
The Morven Peninsula, which you just had a look at.
Yeah.
Duart to the south. So they became the predominant West Coast clan around here, yeah.
And stewards to the MacDonalds, who were the Lords of the Isles, or were they ever Lords of the Isles themselves?
No, they weren't themselves. No, originally they were stewards to them, and then when the Lord of the Isles lost their power, the MacLeans just carried on.
Yeah.
Assumed ownership really of the land that they'd been on.
And right the way up to they stayed Jacobites, didn't they? The MacLeans.
They were Jacobites, and they fought in the four rebellions.
Four of them, yeah.
The last one. They weren't under their chief, they were under Charlie of Drimmin, because their chief was actually living in France.
Who's got a memorial on Morven, right? That's right, I saw that.
Charlie.
So, but there were redcoats here.
There were redcoats here at that point in time, yes. They were just making sure it wasn't used by the clan and as a focal point or a rallying point.
Yeah.
And they left about sort of 1790, somewhere around then. Yeah. They left us with lots of plans and designs and showing what the building was like. Yeah. And then they ruined it. Yeah.
Yeah. As they did with most places.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just to make sure it wasn't going to be used in the coming rebellion. So fast forward 150 years,
1911. And Sir Fitzroy, the 26th chief, he bought it back for the clan. Yeah. He was a Crimea War veteran, 75 years old. Came here. It was the tail end of that time in Victorian, Edwardian times when all things Highland had become fashionable.
Very fashionable. Yeah.
They cleared the people off the land. So he bought this back with clan money and family money. Originally, they were going to restore it.
Yeah, I'm zooming in on this good work here because that's the first.
Yeah, that was the 2012 gathering, centenary gathering. So the first one, he declared it open in 1912. Yeah. I mean, it was barely watertight at that point, but he ended up turning it into his family home. Yeah.
And the family still live here, right?
Absolutely, yeah. The chief of the clan lives on the private side, yeah.
So, and this is his view. So, remarkable history. Well worth delving into. And I'm going to usually in these things I pick out one particular piece of the history to illuminate the rest of it from there. So I'm not sure what it's going to be, but I think it will be the galleon that got captured and the officers who were kept here under hostage, weren't they?
They were. I mean,
this is the Armada.
The Armada, yeah. So it was one of the Armada ships that fled after the Armada broke up. The attempted invasion. Yeah. Ended up here, and it was taken in by Hector Moore, who was the chief at the time. Yeah. And given protection, which was an act of treason technically.
Yes. But because James the First, it was, I think.
I'm gonna.
Can't remember.
Yeah, we'll
Anyway.
come back to you on that one.
Anyway,
Yeah,
the Scottish king had
Yeah.
aligned themselves with England
Yeah.
in that one. Yeah.
So, but what he, to his great delight, they ended up with a company of soldiers on board the ship.
Yeah.
Which he used.
Bingo.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So
Yeah.
they basically used them as mercenaries.
Yeah.
And then mysteriously, the ship blew up in Tobermory Bay.
Yeah.
After it had been after they returned.
Yeah, as part of the deal, they refitted it for them, didn't they, and got it.
Yeah,
and then it blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of controversy. Nobody really knows quite why the ship blew up.
Yeah.
Some say it was an English spy, and some say it was the MacLeans who did it themselves.
Cover themselves against the king, maybe.
Yeah.
And they were scrapping with the McDonald's at the time and used the Spanish troops to do that.
Yeah, up on Rum and Egg particularly, and over on the mainland. Yeah, they
Did anybody get home from all of that to Spain?
I don't know how many survived. The story is that a cook and possibly the cook's mate were on land at the time of the explosion, foraging.
Yeah.
And they were the only people to survive, plus a dog that was catapulted off. But that does sound to me a little bit like somebody's, somebody's story's growing arms and legs there, isn't it?
Yeah. Dog's arms and legs as well. So, right, let's bring it up to date. Downwardly Mobile travels with Mavise, and Mavise is your campervan.
Yeah, named after Mavis Staples, the civil rights activist and great soul singer.
Yeah. So we also shared a friend in Ags Connoly and a love of house concerts as well, which I found out today.
Absolutely, yeah. It was Ags that introduced us, albeit virtually.
It was virtually, and thank you, Ags, for that. Look what you've managed to invite me to. So, when you were down south, you just decided the rat race wasn't for you, and you got in a campervan, and it led you here. Is that the way it happened?
That was it. Yeah, we.
And you've got a book out of it as well.
Well, 2 or 3 now. I'd like to milk a good idea. But, we just decided. My wife and I got married in 2015.
Yeah.
And we both had grown-up children who were, in the process of moving out into various universities and following their own dreams.
Yeah.
So we thought, well, now the kids have grown up, we'll leave home. So that's what we did. We sold everything. We bought a motorhome, which we called Mavise, as I've said. Went on the road.
Yeah.
We didn't actually get as far as Mull that year. We did a year working kind of voluntarily at music festivals,
nice.
And in between that we were travelling around. We got as far as Oban. So we were looking over to Mull. And then we decided we needed to do something just to earn a few pennies.
Yeah.
Found this job by accident.
Nice.
I was actually looking for a vet for the cats online and somehow stumbled across a job for couples that...
And did you have an interest in history anyway, on the road itself?
My background was entirely in nursing and then in social housing.
Right.
Interest in history, yes, but not specifically Scottish history or clan history. That's come with the job.
Yeah, well, you're steeped in it now anyway, that's for sure.
It gets into your pores.
It does.
It gets under your skin.
It does, yeah. Because it's like peeling back the layers, isn't it? Once you peel back one layer, it's a detective thing that just leads you in another direction.
Absolutely, yeah. I was liking Scottish history to quantum physics. If you say you understand it, you don't.
It's contrived.
It's been oversimplified so many times. Yeah. I mean, the Battle of Culloden has been oversimplified to the point of black, white, yes, no, right, left, and it was so complicated. The build up to it and everything that was going on. But that's what makes it fascinating. You always learn more.
There is always more to learn. Well, thanks for that, and thanks for the book. I'm looking forward to reading that. And well done, finding your way here for one thing.
We're not going back now.
No, I would imagine. I'd imagine so. Well, go visit Ray. And is Mavis still with you?
No, sadly, she went a couple of years ago. She was sitting outside here, not doing anything. We lived in it while we were working here for a bit.
Okay.
as you will know, when you've lived in a motorhome over the winter, you decide 4 walls are
there are some advantages.
Yeah, there are. Yeah, no, one day we'll get something again, but at the moment, sadly, she's not.
Well, thank you. Thanks for your hospitality. Thanks for putting us up. Thanks for enlightening us on the whole MacLean's thing. And man, it would. You've done concerts in that room as well, haven't you?
We have, yeah. We have classical concerts here at times, but also the singer-songwriter Adrian Nation has played here, and one or two others.
Right, keep me involved in that.
Absolutely.
And same for me as well. It'd be lovely to come to Mull with one of our parties, and perhaps we can use that room.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see what we can arrange, I'm sure. Yeah.
Your people should speak to my people. Well, my people's me, but you need to speak to your people. That's for sure.
We'll sort something out. We can do that.
I'm obliged.